Good morning, BookTube, and welcome to the first day of Contemporary-a-thon and week 2 of the BookTube games. So this vlog is going to be a combination of Contemporary-a-thon, which is happening this week from the 11th to the 17th, and also BookTube games, my second BookTube games vlog. I will link the first one for you if you're interested. I will also link my TBR if you are interested in that as well, because there's a lot going on, and I'm reading a lot of books. Or trying to read a lot of books. Anyway, so it is the first day of the Contemporary-a-thon. I was able to finish the book that I was reading last night. So before the Contemporary-a-thon started, so I am starting the Contemporary-a-thon with a fresh slate. And so at midnight last night, because I have no chill and I've been wanting to read this book since it came out last week, I picked up my most recent purchase challenge, which is Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss. I am so excited about this book because it's Casey West, and this is Casey West, and if you know anything about my reading, hold on, I gotta start a fight.
No, you have one. You have one. Thank you.
Anyway. This book is Casey West, which means if you've been around my channel at all, you know that Casey West is one of my favorite authors, and so I'm super excited to get into this book. And by get into, I mean continue, because I am currently, let's see here, I am currently 90 pages into this book already. I love Casey West, and that she's really easy to read because I'm 90 pages into this book already. And usually if I'm reading a physical book, it takes me a really long time to read through them, as I'm sure will be evident later on in this week when I try and read some other books. But Casey West's writing style is very easy to fly through, very, simplistic, which in some authors is a bad thing, but in the case of Casey West and the kind of stories she writes, simplistic is good. And so I can fly through these without a problem, and I always love them. So I am reading this right now. We are hanging out on the couch together. I have a protein shake back here. He's got some tortilla chips that he's chewing on. And so I'm going to go ahead and get to reading. So I will check in with you guys when I have some reading done. Bye.
More time. Hard enough that I heard the rubber of the raft squeak beneath his smooth nose, and then the huge whale dipped his body back under the surface.
Hey guys, so it is now 10 o'clock at night, and I wanted to give you guys an update because I haven't really talked to you guys yet since this morning when I told you I was reading A Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss. So we're going to give you an update because I've done a lot of reading today, like a lot of reading. So today, you saw a clip where I showed that I was listening to an audiobook on my phone while I played The Sims, because I've been sucked down the Sims rabbit hole again. My sister bought a new expansion pack and we shared the game. So she bought a new expansion pack for our game, so we've been playing it a lot. Both of us have. So while I played The Sims, I listened to the audiobook of The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. I actually really like this book a lot more than I thought it did. A lot more than I thought I would. I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to the entire thing. It was very sad, very hard stuff, but it was very good. So that is what I finished the entirety of today, which was 240 pages. So that goes towards the BookTube games. And as for Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss, I am 256 pages into this, and I am planning to finish this tonight, which I think should be possible. So I am actually going to go ahead and right now and go get cozy in my bed and read the night away until I finish this. So I will check back in with you guys in the morning, because I'm definitely not going to be checking in with you guys tonight.
Don't be troubled, don't be afraid. Get a broken hearted.
Alright, so good morning, guys. It is actually almost noon here, and I figured I would give you guys an update on my reading, because I have done a lot of reading. I read, last night, you saw a clip of my Fitbit watch in the dark, saying it was 2:26 in the morning. That is because last night I ended up staying up until 2:26 in the morning. I was listening to the audiobook of Pride, and I finished that before midnight last night, so it counted for yesterday. And then I ended up switching over and starting to listen to First and Then by Emma Mills. I listened to this one after midnight, so it counts for today. And I was also playing The Sims, and I did not realize how late it was getting when I was playing until I realized I was almost done with First and Then, and I had been playing The Sims for like 5 or 6 hours. It was a little unhealthy. You got Mommy's protein shake? Yeah. So yeah, I read a lot last night, and then this morning when I got up, I went ahead and I finished reading First and Then. So I have finished that book for today, because it's not too shabby. And now we are sitting down. We're hanging out. I have the book next to me, but I am currently holding my phone with one hand to film this clip, and my other hand is down here being sat on by the infant. So right now, once I get my hand back, I'm going to go ahead and read 7 Days of You, which I only read about 25 pages of yesterday. So my plan is to read the rest of it today, hopefully. We'll see if I can. I know that I usually struggle to read books physically. The only exception to that seems to be Casey West. If I have a Casey West book, I can read it, no problem. Just fly right through it. Not a big deal. So I'm going to try and sit and read some now, and so I will check back in with you guys when I have some reading done.
Face. Oh, and don't worry, the other one's right here too. Whenever I'm on the floor, they need to be right all up in my business. Hi, Debug. My sweet girl.
Hey guys, so we are getting ready to head out to my parents' house for the afternoon. I figured I'd give you guys an update on my reading because nothing's happened. I believe I already told you that I finished First and Then this morning. So then I was going to sit down and start reading 7 Days of You. I was on page 25 of this when I told you that. I am now on page 48. Sitting down to read a physical book is really, really hard because my daughter doesn't take kindly to me trying to read a physical book. That's why I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Well, one of the reasons I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I haven't really read anything of this just because I haven't been able to. So I'm going to take this with me to my parents' house, and hopefully I'll be able to get some reading done there. And if not, maybe I can get some reading done before I go to bed after the kids go to sleep. Because usually if I'm reading a physical book, I just read when she's taking a nap. But she napped for like an hour today, and that was it. And she usually naps for 2 to 3 hours. So she's going to be grumpy and today, and I'm not super thrilled. So I'm going to go ahead and go finish getting ready so we can head out, and I will check back in with you guys when I have some more reading done. Hey guys, so it is now very late in the evening on Thursday, and I figured I'd give you a quick update because I haven't updated you guys yet today. I am back from the gym, so I'm getting ready to take a shower, and I'm going to give you guys a proper update about what all I've read so far, like later, but I wanted to show you this really quick because for this week's challenge, I believe today might even be the last day, but for this week's challenge for the BookTube games, it's to read in a place you're not normally supposed to read. And I was going to read when my husband and I went on our Valentine's Day date for dinner, but that's not happening now. We're going on Sunday and the challenge time frame will be over. So instead, I want to show you this crazy thing I have set up. I'm gonna read in the shower. So I have my phone set up over here with my ebook in it and in a plastic baggie. my sister has done this several times when to watch Netflix in the shower, so I know that it's gonna be fine. But that's what I'm gonna do for this challenge. Once I'm done in the shower, I will give you guys a proper update about what all I've been reading, because I have read quite a bit today. So I will check back in with you guys later. Every time I start going back to the gym, I hurt myself. This is infuriating. Hello guys. So I realized I did not update you guys yesterday after I took a shower because I got busy and completely forgot. So I'm going here to update you guys about what all I read yesterday, and then my disappointing day so far today. Yesterday I read the entirety of 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. I believe I already told you that. I ended up really loving this book. I think I gave it like 4.5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't like full 5, but it was like just like a smidge shot. So I think I gave that one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely enjoyed that one. So I read that, and then the book that I read as an ebook in the shower for my BookTube Games competition or for my BookTube Games challenge, was I read what was it? Slow Summer Kisses by Shannon Stacy. This was an ebook that is a like short story that was in a collection of short stories from I can't remember. It was a collector's edition. The photo of the edition I actually read will be over here on this side of the screen, so you can see exactly what it is. Basically, it was just a collection of 3 short stories, romance stories. I have been really into Shannon Stacy lately, so I wanted to read another short story from her, and so I did. I did enjoy it. I also went ahead and read the other 2 short stories that were in there. One of those short stories does not count towards the Contemporary-a-thon because it was a historical story, so it doesn't count for that. However, the other one I read was was Negotiating Point, I believe, and it was technically contemporary. It was a suspense book, modern suspense, so it was completely acceptable. So I am deciding that I'm going to count that other short story that was in that bind-up. I am counting that one for a, what was it? I believe it was a new to me cover? Oh no, Blurple on the cover. That was it. This is the cover of the short story on its own without it in the other things. It's got some Blurple on it. So I'm going to say that counts. So yeah, I'm counting that for that challenge. And by doing that, I have completed all of the Contemporary-a-thon challenges. When I get home tonight after we go to my parents' house for dinner, I will tell you like what all the challenges were, what all books I read. So that's what I did yesterday. Today, I have not read anything pretty much. Like, I have read a little. Very, very little. I have read about 15 pages of A Darker Shade of Magic by B.E. Schwab. I posted the question out to my cabin mates for BookTube Games in the Discord and asked them if they thought I should pick up another contemporary, if I should pick up either A Darker Shade of Magic, The Lost Hero, or Thunderhead, and they kind of all agreed that A Darker Shade of Magic was a good one. Several of them are actually reading the book at the moment, so they were kind of the opinion that I should read it so I could talk to them about it. So I started that one. I'm only like 15 pages into it because I just started it like an hour ago, and I am now at Walmart again to get some things for dinner that I had forgotten to get when I came grocery shopping yesterday. So we're here again. But yeah, so that's all I've read. Today has been severely disappointing in terms of reading. Also, I hurt myself. You won't be able to see on camera, but I'm going to show you anyway. But you might be able to tell a little bit that there's a little bitty bruise here in my knuckle. I wedged my finger in between my desk and the arm of my chair, because basically the way my desk is set up is that when I sit in my desk chair, it has like arms. When I sit in my desk chair, it lowers down, and so the arms can fit underneath the desk. But when I'm not sitting in the chair, it's raised up, and like it doesn't fit under, and it'll get wedged if it's not under there. Lauren was crawling up on top of the table, and I jumped up really quick to go grab her off the table before she hurt herself, and did not get myself pushed back from my desk far enough, and had my hand on the arm of the chair, and it was still underneath the desk. So when I stood up, it crushed my finger between my wooden desk and the arm of the chair. It hurt so bad. It was swollen for a while, and now it's just bruised, and it does kind of hurt to flex and all that. So it's kind of sucky, especially because every single time I start going back to the gym, I get hurt, and then I have to like postpone my trips to the gym. It's infuriating. Alright, so I am here at the gym. I'm gonna go ahead and go in and get the things I need because mom is making dinner and I need to get the last couple things we need. We're having burgers, so I need to get the buns and like side stuff. So I'm doing that now. So yeah, that is all I have for this update for you guys. I will talk to you guys when I get home after my parents' house because I'm going to tell you about all of the Contemporary-a-thon and what challenges I completed. So I will check with you guys later. Hey guys, so it is now Sunday, which is the last day for Contemporary-a-thon, and also this is going to be the last clip in this, or not the last clip, this is going to be the last day for this vlog. Hello. So I figured I'd give you guys an update because I realized the last clip I filmed, I was saying that I was going to tell you about all my reading and what challenges I met and all that, and I didn't do any of that. And I'm not going to do that now because we're getting ready to head out on a date. We didn't get to go on a Valentine's Day date, so we're going today instead. My kids are with my in-laws for the day, and we're going to go and into the city, technically, and we're gonna go get some food and hang out. So we're gonna go do that, but I want to give you guys an update because today is my 24-hour readathon day. The challenge for this week for the BookTube games is to do a 24-hour readathon, and I started mine at 11 o'clock last night with a bunch of other people from my team, and so I figured I'd give you guys an update because I've done some reading. Last night, before I went to bed, I actually fell asleep reading A Darker Shade of Magic, and I finished this morning when I woke up. I actually only ended up giving this book 2 stars. I didn't like it. It's just, I think it wasn't so much that it was a bad book or anything like that. It was definitely fine, but it wasn't for me. I didn't like it. It just wasn't very good, in my opinion, for me. It wasn't very good for me. The plot was really slow. It wasn't super interesting to me. And then on top of that, the writing style wasn't really interesting to me either and wasn't very good for me. So overall, not a great book, so I gave it 2 stars. And so I decided I was going to go ahead and start a reread. And I have been in the mood to reread Adorkable by Cookie O'Graham. And this book, I read this book in December for the first time for the Christmas at Hogwarts readathon, and as soon as I finished it, I immediately wanted to pick it up again, but I was in a readathon, so I didn't. So I'm picking it up now, and I'm excited. So because my husband loves me, we're going to listen to the audiobook of this on our drive out to, on the 45-minute drive we've got going out. So we are going to head out on our date. Maybe film some vlog footage, maybe not, we'll have to see. But yeah, that is all I have for this clip, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
I can finally get it done, have the 500 going. It's awesome.
And you, for years, and maybe you don't get enough credit.
Hey guys, so it is not much later after my 24-hour readathon, and this is going to be the wrap-up clip for this vlog. So let's just go ahead and tell you about what I read. For my 24-hour readathon, I told you that I was reading Adorkable while we were out on our date, and I did read that. So, and I actually finished that while we were out and about. So I am going to go ahead and go over everything I read for my 24-hour readathon because I did read quite a bit afterwards, after the last clip you saw. So I'll just go ahead and tell you about that, and then that'll be it for this vlog. So for my 24-hour readathon, I think it was very successful. I read a total of 882 pages, which meant that my total for that day was actually 982 because you add 100 pages for the fact that you did a 24-hour readathon. So I told you that I finished reading A Darker Shade of Magic. I read the last 152 pages of that. I then read the entirety of Adorkable, which was 283 pages. Then I read volume 1 of Bee and Puppy Cat, which was 130 pages. I then tried to pick up The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, which is the first book of the Percy Jackson series, and I got about 95 pages in for that before I decided that I just really wasn't interested in rereading the series right now. So I quit reading that at 95 pages, and I ended up reading the entirety of The Paper Magician by Charlie N. Holmberg, which is one of my favorite books of all time, one of my favorite series. So that is what I read for my 24-hour readathon. It went really, really well. So really quickly, I will add up everything that I read in this past week so that you guys can see my total for this week. It probably isn't going to be as good as the last 10-day vlog I did because A, that was 10 days, and B, I was a little bit insane on those days. So we have to go back to the 11th. So on the 11th, I read 615 pages. On the 12th, I read 329 pages. On the 13th, I read 309 pages. On the 14th, I read 637 pages. On the 15th, I read 112 pages. On the 14th, I read... on the 16th, I read 136 pages. On the 17th, I read 982 pages. So over this whole week, I read 3,120 pages, which is not too shabby. So also really quickly here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what books I read this week for Contemporary-a-thon challenges, and so that you guys know all of that information. First off, I read Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West. This was my book that I read for my most recent contemporary purchase, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I really love this book, which is no shocker at all. After that, I picked up First and Then by Emma Mills, and this book was to complete the challenge for a book that I meant to read in 2018. I'm pretty sure I actually did read this book in 2018, but I have no memory of it, and like once I started reading it, I kind of vaguely remembered some of the plot, but not a lot. So that is what I meant for that challenge. Then I read 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. This book met the challenge for a picture on the spine because down here at the bottom is the same 2 people from the cover. After that, I read the Corona Press Editor's Choice novellas, which is 3 novellas. Only 2 of them counted for this challenge. I read Slow Summer Kisses by Shannon Stacy, which met my challenge for a non-traditional format because I read this as an ebook. And then I also read Negotiating Point was in here by Adrienne something. I don't remember her whole name. And this book completed the challenge for blurble on the cover. And then I also read Pride by E.B. Savoy. This was the last book. Well, it wasn't the last book I read, but it's the last one that I am listing. And this one met the challenge for Diverse Contemporary. So there you go. I completed all 7 challenges. I believe I completed all 7 challenges in like 4 days, which is really incredible, which isn't wholly surprising for me right now because I am reading a bunch for the BookTube games. And also in a crazy twist of fate, I am like at 48 books this year so far, which is insane. My whole goal for the year was 75 books, and that's ridiculous. But I set 75 because I knew it was a goal I could attain, and clearly I'm going to attain it. I just expected to meet it in like October, not meet it in like March. So we'll see how that goes because I'm still reading quite a bit for BookTube games, which is going to be up here before long. So, oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to tell you guys on my date with my husband, he took me to Goodwill because our Goodwill that we go to in town has a pretty decent like rotating stock of books. And so I went through and got a bunch of books. So I want to show you them because I'm kind of excited about them. So the first thing I got was What Light by J. Asher. This was a book that I read around Christmas time, not last year, I believe, the year before. And I really loved this book. And so I was pretty excited when I saw there was an edition of it at Goodwill that was in pretty good shape because not all books at Goodwill are in that great shape. So I was very excited to get this. I then also have been rereading the Vampire Academy novels and decided as I was rereading them that I was going to go ahead and continue on to the Bloodline series, which I have never read before. And whilst I was in Goodwill, I found that they had Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead. This is, I believe, the last book in the Bloodline series, so it's gonna be a while before I get to this one, but at least now I have a physical copy of it that I can read when I finally get to round to this book in the series. And then the last thing I was super duper excited about, and that is that I found Sweep Volume 1, which I have been wanting to read these for quite a while and I never can find them. Our library doesn't have them. You can get like some of the audiobooks on Audible, but they're not cheap to get. And so I was kind of excited when I found this at Goodwill for $1.50. And it's in amazing condition. There's like a one scuff on the spine and that's it. This book is like I'm pretty convinced the person who owned this before had never read it. So I'm pretty excited to have this. So yeah, that is actually all that I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it interesting. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.